exercise to help us with shoulder rotation. There's a couple of different setups, but I found this to be a really useful one because we're grounded here on the floor, and so kind of having our feet on the floor can help us push forces into the shoulder. So you need a wall, something to lean on. We're going to start off with, you want to try to open up your arm so that the backside, your rear delts are touching this wall, and it's going to be at about shoulder height or a little bit lower. You can play around with either protracting your shoulder blade so that you're really close and kind of like your armpit and your upper lat are really are in touching this wall. You can also play around with retracting your scapula, your shoulder blade, and kind of pulling like this, almost as if you were setting up for your bench press or getting under the bar. So it's very valuable to try both setups, but the shoulder rotation instructions in the video are going to be the same. So I'm actually just going to kind of split the difference here for this variation. So what we want to try to do first is I'm going to gently push, almost like I'm elbowing the wall into here, and then I'm going to manually take my upper arm bone, my humerus, into internal rotation. Now, you can't just rotate and then who cares about whatever. You have to make sure that whatever you start with touching the wall is where you finish touching the wall after the rotation is done. So whether or not you're choosing the protracted or retracted variation, when you internally rotate down, it can't shrug the shoulder up, it can't peel you away from the wall. All of that stuff has to stay static, because if you let something else happen, it means that we're no longer rotating here, we're utilizing other stuff, and we're just going to be promoting a compensation. So I'm in my internal rotation here, and what I'm looking for is a stretch on the back side of my shoulder. I can also, if I want to reach, like I'm in retraction, I might find a stretch in my lat. It's going to be a little bit rear delts as well. So this initial position is just a passive stretch in the back side of my rotator cuff stuff. So typically we hold these for somewhere between 1:30 and 2 minutes. And then we're going to be doing our PAILs effort, which our PAILs effort is an isometric that is going to be shortening the stuff that's currently on length in our passive stretch. So right now, all of the stuff back here is being stretched, and then my PAILs effort is I'm going to block at my own wrist. I'm going to push into this wall, and then I'm going to start to try to contract and shorten my backside rotator cuff stuff, delts, whatever I can get a hold of, and I'm going to try to rotate into my own palm. So if I wasn't blocking myself here, I would be driving into external rotation, but I'm going to be blocking myself here at my end range internal, and I'm trying to work into external. So that's the PAILs effort, and your intensities and durations will be programmed. The rails effort from here is you're going to lift off your top hand, you're going to contract your pec, your bicep if you can get into anterior shoulder, and you're going to try to manually rotate that arm bone into deeper internal rotation. Again, don't let the shoulder blade move, don't let the stuff in the backside help out. We're truly just trying to train front side rotator cuff here, okay? So we don't want a lot of compensations, and that's your rails effort, and again, your intensities and your durations will be programmed. Once you're done there, just gently move. It's normal for your arm to kind of feel almost like a Barbie, like a Bambi arm, just really kind of loosey-goosey, and that's totally safe as long as you're not feeling any pain.